Hi everyone, today I'm going to be sharing with you 5 different sensory activities that you can do for your baby using water beads. Now if you don't know what they are, then water beads are little teeny tiny beads that when you add water to them, they swell up because they absorb all the water and they become bouncy and jelly-like, and they feel generally just really amazing. You can do loads of different activities for children and even adults of all ages, and so today I thought I would share with you 5 of my favourite ones to do with babies. So let's get straight into it. The first activity, which is really simple and really easy and the most obvious one, is that you can just put the baby's feet into this water beads. So of course prepare the water beads as you would with the packet instructions, and then all you have to do is hold your baby on your lap and put their feet into it. It is not recommended, of course, that they put these things in their mouth. It's not very good for them to have in their mouth, so I'd keep them very much away from their mouth. But putting their feet into it gives them a really lovely sensory experience, and it feels so lovely. And if you haven't put your hand into water beads before, then you'll not realise, but they feel just so nice. And it's a really great, unique way to get a really unique sensory experience for your baby. So I would really recommend this one, just plain old putting their feet into it. The next activity you can do is simply put the water beads into a bottle, and then I'd recommend adding a little bit of water so they move about a little bit more. And then what you do is you hold it in front of your baby and they just watch as you turn the bottle around and shake it, and they can see all the lovely water beads inside moving around and all the colours, and it just looks really great for them. If they're a bit of an older baby, you can let them hold the bottle and then they can shake it themselves, and again it's just really great. You could also add other things into this bottle, so you could add in sequins or glitter to add to the sensory experience there, and just put whatever you like inside it. And it's a really DIY easy way to use water beads in a very safe way for your baby. Thirdly, you can use water beads during tummy time. So what you do is you get a bag, a Ziploc bag, and open it up, and then inside you're going to want to put a bunch of water beads of whatever colour you like, of course, whatever colour you think are most vibrant. I would recommend putting them into the bag, and then you want to add a little bit of water. It depends, it's up to you really how much water you add. You can add a little bit or you can add lots of water depending on what you want the experience to be like for your child, and all you do is zip up the bag if you feel like it. And if you want to make sure it's extra safe, you can tape around the edges of the bag to keep it extra safe, and then you can just put it on the floor, put your baby on their tummy, and they can have a good old time squidging it about, touching the beads, and just again a sensory experience, but more of a touch one rather than just a visual one this time. And it's just activates so many of their senses and they'll really love it. You can also have your baby hold the bag when they're in their chair. I had my son in his bouncy chair and he was like playing with them and holding on to them and having a great old time there as well. So you can use this in a couple of different ways. You could also put it onto the wall, tape it onto the wall, and then if your child's older and sitting up, you could poke it at it on the wall as well if they wanted to. So there's a few different ways to this activity, but I would highly recommend this one. Next, you can freeze your water beads. So if you haven't tried freezing your water beads before, you can definitely do this. And what you do with the frozen water beads is you then put them into a small container. I would say I highly recommend a very small container for this if you can, and then you just want to clip the sides down to make it nice and secure and just give it to your baby. And again, this is the touch sensation. They can feel it and also they can hear it because it makes it sound like a rattle. So you can hear the sound of the rattle. I'll just insert a clip here. So that sound is just really great for them. It's just a makeshift rattle essentially. And then it's also cold to their hands because obviously the frozen beads give off cold, so they can feel it as cold and it's a new sensation, and this is a really great introductory sensory activity. Another baby safe way to use water beads is you can get a jar. You could use any jar for this, but I would recommend using a small jar. The one I used here is a baby food jar, and I think this is really the perfect size. And all you want to do is stick some water beads in there, close it very tightly, and then put it next to your child. I will say this works slightly better for a slightly older child because they can crawl after it and roll it along the ground, and it definitely works a little bit better. But because my son is 3 months old in this footage, and so he's not quite at that stage yet. But as you can see, it does encourage him to turn over, and that's his new thing that he's trying to learn, is he's learning to turn over. So that can encourage him to do that. And then when he gets slightly bit older, it can encourage him to then crawl towards it, and it's just really an enjoyable thing. They can also shake this similar with the bottle. If they're old enough, they can shake it, obviously with supervision because it is potentially glass. And you want to just, with all of these activities, I will just say, just do these all at your own discretion with your own initiative and whatever you think is best for your baby. But personally, I think these are all great, and with supervision that they're all my son uses them all really happily. And so this one, you just, all it does is it rolls along the ground and you just watch it, and he goes after it, and it's just a really great sensory experience for him to have that encourages movement as well. There are of course many more ways you can use water beads as your child starts to get older, but I'll include that in a different video if you guys are interested in that. And I hope this video was very interesting for you if you're into doing more sensory activities with your baby. You can use this one toy, water beads, to make loads of different activities. So I really hope this was very interesting for you, and I'll see you very soon in my next one. Bye guys.